Hello folks, welcome once again to my YouTube channel where I share with you quality content in which you can actually start to apply to your trading career to make your trading career a success. So I just wanted to go through just a few crash and boom indices so that you see my analysis, my thought process and my expectations for this week on those crash and boom indices. So I did analyze already, but I'll remove it. I'll start to analyze from the daily time frame. Right. So remember, what I'm going to analyze, these are things that the setups that I'm expecting for this week. So if you look at CRASH500, we have been in a major downtrend, right? If you look at this, that's a major downward channel. If you look at it like this, major downward channel, right? Major, then it broke out here. After breaking out somewhere it came back for a retest there. So my first major zone, I have this resistance just up, that is just above here, a thing that is almost similar to what we saw on VIX 75, even though this is a different case. Right, I have this immediate resistance that is there. This resistance is going to determine a lot of things. If ever we're going to buy, it's safe to buy above. If you want to buy, safe buys, you find them above that resistance. So as you can see, if we look at market structure, if you want to look at market structure, we realize that there's a break of structure here to the downside. This is our most recent swing high, which is our lower high. Swing high, which is our lower high. So if the market pushes all the way and breaks that low high, that's when we'll say the market momentum is now shifted to the bullish side of things. But so far it still has zones that it has to break. There is this supply zone or an order block there, and also another one here, which is the extreme order block that is just above that one. So these zones, the market can actually come and respect these zones, so you actually need to be careful when looking at those zones for our targets. Let's say once we manage to get buy entries, once the market pushes all the way on top of that, on top of this resistance, once it manages to go above, we'll get buy entries. Target, this is our first target, second target, third target is the swing high, which is the lower high there. Once that one is broken, we're looking forward for the market to push all the way up or to retrace before pushing all the way up. So we'll enter again on the retracements. So there are so many ways we can enter this trade as well. If you look here, we actually have a trend line to the downside. We have a channel that is there to the downside, right? So this downward channel, we can also use it to enter our buys. We can also use it to enter our buys, right? We can also use this downward channel to enter our buys. Should look at it like this. So simple structure. We know that once we break above this resistance and also this downward channel, getting a retest is simply a further confirmation for more entries. First target there, second target, third target. So that's what I'm looking at for CRASH500. Going down to lower time frames, I'm simply going there for the market to, once it breaks my zone, I'll be looking there for a simple entry point. Right, so looking at 4 hours, you realize that there are also other zones that you might not see on the daily, but on the 4 hour they'll be there, right? Those are some of the zones that you just need to we just need to refine based on 4-hour time frame. So I hope you are going to watch the video up until the end so that you see where exactly I'm targeting my entry, where exactly I'm targeting my entry. So if you look from the top here, we also have other levels that are there at the top, like this extreme supply zone, which is close to this swing high, right? That's my latest level. So these two, I might not mark them, because if ever there are any levels that are in between an extreme level, the market prefers to choose the extreme level, because these ones will just be used as liquidity. Those ones will just be used as a form of liquidity. So here I can actually take this zone as a simple resistance zone, since I'm not seeing any order block that is making sense there. The only order block that is making sense to me now is this one. So those are levels where once the market breaks, you actually shift your stop loss higher and higher to make sure that you secure maximum profit. So right now for buys, if ever you're not already in the buys, because some of us, we are smart enough to an extent that already we're in the buys based on this simple break and retest that happened here at the bottom. Already we're in the buys. So break here, break, already we're in the buys. Our targets, first target was that one, second target is this trend line to the downside. Another level that I'm realizing is also this supply zone, or which is also an order block. So what I'm now looking forward to now is the market to push, retest, boom. Simple structure that I'm now expecting. So if ever the market hasn't broken my level on a higher time frame, there's no need for me to go to a lower time frame. So I'll simply wait for the 4-hour to break this resistance, and as well as that supply zone before a retest and the continuation all the way up. So crash 500, that is it. Let's look at boom 500. Right, boom 500, already I had an analysis, right? I had an analysis already where I was anticipating the market to push up. I had an analysis, I had this counter trend line break, retest. I'm expecting the market to push higher towards the negative 27%, because upon the retracement it will test at 61.8. From there my first target is 0, second negative 27%. That was a very easy trade, a very easy trade, a very easy trade, a very easy trade. So here at the bottom, you realize that the market actually came back and tapped into this fair value gap or imbalance, right? After giving us a change of character here, after we got a change of character there, a change of character meaning if ever the market was bullish, if ever the market was bearish, we now know that we're now being bullish. So after the change of character there, you wait for the retracement into a Fibonacci or a fair value gap, or an order block. So it actually retraced into Fibonacci 61.8, as well as this trend line number 2, number 3, as well as this fair value gap or imbalance. So those were all so many confluences guiding this trade. So after tapping there and rejecting, one could have actually started buying. So after buying, so right now, if this boom 500 is simply following the analysis that I gave. I think I actually gave this analysis last week, if I'm not so sure. I actually gave this analysis last week, last week. Then I said 0%, first target, second target, negative 27%. So right now it's still one trade. It's still the same setup that we had last week, that is still running, that is still being respected. So it's actually a good thing because we're still in one trade. We've been holding this trade for a very long time now. We've been holding this trade for a very long time now. So all we now want now is for the market to continue pushing upwards in our favor. As it's pushing upwards in our favor, we'll just be shifting our stop loss higher and higher and higher and higher. I hope you understand and you get my point. So this is what is currently happening on BOOM500. We are simply in a bullish market. I'm still expecting the market to push all the way up until maybe this trend line is broken to the downside. Maybe that's when my bias will change, but so far I'm still maintaining the same bias. Moving on to CRASH300, I'll end up with BOOM300 because those are the only crash and booms that I actually prefer and also recommend people to focus on. So CRASH300, we are simply going to start from the daily. Starting from the daily, you begin to realize that market was bearish. Bearish. We're in a bearish market. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, up until this lower high was broken. Right after the break of the lower high, we say that is a change of character or a shift in market momentum, meaning the market now is more to the bullish side of things more than the bearish side of things. That's a change of character like this. So that change of character, remember what I said. If ever you're part of our focus mentorship, you always know what I'm talking about. So I can mark other levels at the top. I can mark just for the purpose of targets. For example, this is a resistance. We can use this as a target. We can actually use that as a target. We can use that resistance as our first target. Second target, I also have this resistance here, or this you can also call it an exhaustion zone. An exhaustion zone, this is a zone whereby you have multiple weak rejections failing to break above. So those are the two major zones that I'm currently seeing that we can place our targets for the buys. So already after the change of character, remember what I said. After change of character, we always expect the market to come back and tap into a favorable gap or an order block that wasn't tapped. For example, this is an order block or a demand zone, right? Order block or demand zone. I'm expecting the market to pull back there before it continues going up. Why must it pull back into a demand before pushing up? It's because on that demand there are so many orders that would have been left by institutions. So those orders, they come back to collect them. Once they have collected them, then they shoot all the way up where they were initially going. So this is what I'm expecting. This is what I'm currently expecting, for the market to drop into this zone, at least into this demand, which is also an order block. Once it drops there, we buy there, then we go all the way up to those targets that I spoke about. Right, so this is 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame. So we can also plot some trend lines just to guide us on the entries that we're trying to take here. Right, we have also this channel here. The break of this channel, either up or down, is also going to give us entries. The break of this channel, either down or up, is going to give us entries. Here I can just refine the level and place it there. So the breakout of that channel to the downside or the upside, it's an entry opportunity. It's a beautiful entry opportunity. I can also see a key level here that was actually broken and retested just now, so one can actually take sales based on that. One can actually take sales based on that. One can actually take sales based on that. So this is the level, touch, break, went above, break, retest. So most probably sales can actually happen from there. If it breaks the bottom trend line, we're actually scaling more sales up until we reach the target where we are currently expecting. So here we are, we're in this mini downward channel. As you can see, that's why even your sales will be safe, because of this downward channel that we're in. Right, so it's like this. It's like that. So you can also use your Fibonacci just to add more confluence to your entry. You actually can see that it actually tapped the 61.8, which is a very golden zone for entry, meaning right now I'm expecting to push 0% as well as to negative 27%. Once it pushes like that, it would have reached and actually confirmed my move fully. So going down to 30 minutes, 15 minutes, I'm simply going there to identify any other trend lines or zones that might actually help us with the entry. I have this counter trend line, I have this trend line to the upside. It can also guide us with entries. It can also guide us with entries. It can also guide us with entries upon its break to the downside. Or we can also mark this level, very significant level, this one. So this level we are saying it was respected, break, retest, retest, break. So if the market comes below that level, you can actually start selling. If it breaks here, you actually sell more. Here we sell, here we sell more. So currently this is what I'm looking at on Crash 300. This is what I'm looking at on Crash 300. So guys, for today we're done. Make sure you like the video, make sure you share the video, and make sure that you join our community. And also follow me on WhatsApp, follow me on Instagram actually, where I share some setups almost every day, every week, where I share some valuable setups and valuable information concerning the financial markets. So guys, that is it for today. Have a great day, have a wonderful day.